Greetings, beloved light warriors. It's Saratoga, and this is your weekly focus card reading for the week beginning July the 5th through July 11th, 2021. And if you're a new subscriber, you should know that I do this every Sunday so we can reset our focus and our energy for the coming week ahead. And then I do my on-camera videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. Okay, let's get into this very interesting card. So as you can see, the card says Healing Chaos, and it has an image of a tornado with butterflies surrounding the tornado. Now, this is a fascinating card. I feel like there is almost like a double message here, which I'll explain in a moment. But first, I want to point out the two stones that you see here. They look like black stones in front of the flower and in front of the candle. Those are actually a deep green color. Those are Moldavite. And this card just spoke to me so strongly about Moldavite. And I'm going to talk about Moldavite in a moment because it completely goes together with this reading. So let's look at it. As I told you, I think there are two possible meanings to this card. The first one, Healing Chaos, is very simple, very straightforward, very direct. And in this case, the tornado could represent the chaos and the destruction that has happened over the past year and a half. And I've been feeling all along about the month of July that this is a little bit of a breathing space for all of us, that there's something about the energy that we can really just take a step back, heal, reassess, reset, and kind of reconfigure how we're looking at life overall so that we are much more aligned with the reality of our situation. And that's a very important point that I want to emphasize. It's so imperative that we are conscious enough and aware enough to always be awake in the sense that we are aligned with the actual situation. When we're not aligned is when we get confused and when we lose our focus. So for example, not being aligned would be something like, well, I just want to think about how things used to be because that's a lot more comfortable for me, and I don't really want to think about all the craziness that's happened. I'd rather just kind of, it's almost like you can have an inner conflict about what reality is. And the other way you can end up with that inner conflict is if you're taking in too much information from too many different sources, and then you start to feel like, oh my goodness, my job is to sort all of these different messages out and make them integrate somehow. So all of those things can actually create feelings of chaos within you. So we've had the outer chaos that we've lived through. We also have probably experienced a fair amount of inner chaos in terms of trying to deal with the outer chaos. So this message in regards to all of that is really simple. It's time to heal from the impact of so much chaos. It's time to, let's just say, take the time to heal from the impact of the chaos in the outer world, and also take the time to heal from whatever chaos you may be experiencing within yourself. So that's a very simple, very direct, very straightforward message. Just because we don't want to just get so caught up in our routines and our to-dos and everything else that we just don't pause and say, wait a second, where am I? How do I feel? What do I need to do to get centered, aligned, and balanced again? What do I need to do to clear my mind and feel a sense of equilibrium again? So in that sense, that's where the butterflies surrounding the tornado come in, because butterflies always signify transformation. So when we take the time to heal the impact and the results of all that chaos that we've all been experiencing, we experience transformation. And what I really want to emphasize here is that we each are responsible for our own transformation. The process of going from the caterpillar to the butterfly, they're not two separate entities. It's the same entity going through that process. So we want to be responsible for our own transformation, and the transformation itself is actually a result of healing the chaos. Healing also means restoration, right? So we're talking about restoring. We're talking about a restoration of who we are, not only in our natural state, but also at a higher level of our natural state. Okay, so that's the first message. Now let me talk about the second one, which is the one that inspired me to put the Moldavite here. Let me just say a little bit about Moldavite first. Moldavite is a storm element stone. The storm element is all about transformation, and we clearly see a major storm on this card. And Moldavite, if you don't know what it is, it's really interesting. It was formed about 15 million years ago when a giant meteorite hit the Earth. And you know, there's some debate about exactly how it was formed in the impact of that crash. But here's a little fun fact for you guys. The force of impact of the explosion that created Moldavite was at least 6 trillion megatons. That's how powerful the energy was that created this stone. Now I know it looks, as I said, I know it looks black probably looks black on video, but it's actually a very deep, deep green color. So Moldavite is really good for Moldavite is very, very powerful. It can actually, if you're not used to it, when you first encounter it, you want to get, in other words, you want to use it in moderation at first so you get acclimated, because Moldavite can actually cause some upheaval. Like if you use the stone Moldavite because let's say you want to create something in your life, you want to manifest something, or you've been stuck or you've been blocked, and you ask yourself, can I connect with the energy of this stone to help me move forward? And if you do, Moldavite can actually cause a bit of upheaval sometimes. It's kind of known for that. It's not a bad thing. It's just an amplification of your process. It's just part of that transformational energy. So just like the tornado in the card can be stirring up a lot of things, and it's that spiral, right? And it's like that stirring things up kind of energy. So sometimes things have to get stirred up so that you can let them go. Because if they're really entrenched in your mind, in your body, in your consciousness, you know, it can become almost like concrete sometimes. And sometimes something needs to happen to break that energy up, which will actually make it easier for you to let go of it, so that a higher expression of who you really are can manifest as a result. So I think in this case, we're talking about healing chaos. We're talking about maybe sometimes there's disruption happening in your life, but it's actually a part of a healing process, a larger healing process. So it's so funny because you can look at these two words, healing chaos, from the first way, we need to heal the chaos, or from the second way, the chaos might be healing. Now, I don't think the chaos in the world that's been, implemented by the controllers, that is not healing. Okay, I think it's pretty obvious that's not a healing kind of chaos. We're talking about natural healing, where the forces of nature and evolution are responding to your desire to evolve and expand and grow and become more conscious. And sometimes in that process, you might feel like things are getting broken up and maybe falling away, or stuff like that. It happens a lot in a spiritual awakening, right? So that's actually a natural process. That's a healthy process. And Moldavite is actually a stone that can actually accelerate that process, really. It's very good to assist you in clearing major, major blocks. I also think of Moldavite as like a stone of initiation into a higher expression, a higher knowing of who you really are. A lot of people actually refer to Moldavite as an extraterrestrial stone because it was the result of an extraterrestrial object impacting planet Earth. So I just felt such a strong feeling about Moldavite when I looked at this card. So just to complete the second part of that message, you want to be able to assess yourself and your life and understand what you need to do. And I think that's the overriding message of this card is take the time to just step back, give yourself some space to yourself, and just be contemplative, be introspective, if you will, where you're saying, okay, so I want to feel good again. I want to feel strong. I want to feel balanced. So that's your goal, right? You want to be clear what your goal is. Your goal is to feel healthy, vital, alive, happy, and free, right? So then you know what your goal is. That's number one. And then you say, okay, so what do I need to do? Which part of this message might be more important to me? Is it more important to me? So, well, let me put it this way. Let's say you look at your experience, you look at your life, and you say, boy, you know, that this year and a half of chaos has just really wrecked things for me. I feel awful. This is not working at all. Then you might say, okay, I need to heal from all of that. I need to heal from the trauma of all that chaos. So then you want to put your energy and your focus on healing the trauma of what we've all been through. Now, if the second part of this message you feel applies more to you, and you look at your life and you say, well, you know, I feel just so stuck, and I feel so like, I don't know, entrenched in my patterns and my routines, and I can't seem to break free. Well, then it might be an invitation to say, well, hey, you know, are you open to some of that entrenched energy just breaking up a little bit? Are you open to a little bit of that storm energy coming in, that transformational energy coming in to assist you in breaking up some of that like concrete energy, and so that you can, you know, take a breath and let it go and feel more free. So those are really the two ways to look at this card, to look at this message, and then you yourselves can really decide just intuitively, just from knowing yourself and being with yourself, which feels like a stronger emphasis for you at this particular point in time. And one more thing before I finish, I just want to mention, if you don't have any Moldavite and you want to get some, make sure you get it from a very reputable source, because there is a lot of fake Moldavite on the market, and it's just green glass. It's not actually Moldavite. So never buy Moldavite just from anybody or online or whatever. Just make sure, if you're, well, I'm not saying there are not reputable people online. Yes, they are. I guess I meant to say, you know, just randomly online, like the first thing you see because it says Moldavite. No, you want to be very, very conscious that it is a highly reputable source, so that you know that what you are getting is actual, real, true Moldavite. Okay, so I just wanted to put that little bit of warning about make sure you don't get something that's fake. Okay, so and one final thing, you do not need Moldavite to transform your life. You do not need Moldavite to do any of the things that I've been talking about here. It's just if you feel called to get some, or you feel called to use it, you know, I think the thing with Moldavite, it's very intuitive. You will know if it's time for you to get some or use it. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's just not the time for it. So that's something that each person has to assess for themselves. I just want to say one more thing I noticed about this card is that pink sky in the background. It's pink, it just right away to me means love. So there is a love around this entire process. And the other thing, more and more keeps coming to me from this card, you guys. The butterflies, notice the butterflies are calm. They're not at all affected by the force of the wind of the tornado. That's how we want to be with the chaos in the world. We want to be at a high enough vibration, just like those butterflies, where all the chaos that's happening in the world does not impose itself on our energy. Think about how amazing that would be, right? Can you imagine if all this chaos did not impose itself on your energy because you were so clear and centered and balanced and awake and aware of your true self, that you would be able to observe it, you would be able to be, you know, in the space of that happening like these butterflies, but yet it would not be affecting your energy field. Okay, so that's the final little thing that just came to me. I wanted to add that. And I think that's it. I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful week and a wonderful month of July, since we're at the beginning of July. And yeah, I'm sending you all so much love, many, many blessings. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Much love, everyone. Namaste.